So I realize I may be a little bit late on this front, maybe about 2 years too late, but after all the critical acclaim and especially the casting of Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the Thing in the MCU, I had to check out The Bear. And this is full thoughts on Season 1 of The Bear, so if you haven't seen Season 1 or if you haven't started this show, I may delve into some spoilers, so this is your fair warning. Go check it out, it's on Hulu, and then come right back. But man, we've got some stuff to talk about. I absolutely adore this show, and I can't wait to start Season 2 and talk about that with you guys. So our premise here is we follow a young chef named Carmy, played here by the excellent Jeremy Allen White. He inherits his family's Italian beef sandwich shop in Chicago after the suicide of his older brother. So he comes home to run it, basically leaving behind his world of working in various restaurants and becoming a very acclaimed chef in his own right. And he's left to deal with his brother's unresolved debts, a rundown kitchen. Like seriously, look at this kitchen once he comes in. Like, it is so freaking unorganized, the chefs don't know where anything is, and the staff themselves is pretty unruly. But he has to do this all while dealing with his own pain and family trauma. I gotta say, first off, shout out to my friends Andrew and Vic who requested that I watch The Bear, and here we are. We're talking about it, guys. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. And thank you for requesting that I watch The Bear. And, like, thinking about it more and more, especially after the casting of the Fantastic Four came out, especially after I watched Jeremy Allen White practically steal the show in the Iron Claw, like, I needed to watch this thing. It was only a matter of time. And I'm just freaking blown away by this thing. Let's start off with the direction and the editing here. Everything just feels so freaking fast-paced. Normally, I would hound a show for having so many quick jump cuts and the seizure-inducing visuals that you might get from something like that. But in this case, the quick jump cuts actually work, because it actually feels like you're working in a kitchen with those quick jump cuts and everybody shouting corner at you. Yeah, I don't know if these developers had some trauma from working in a kitchen from when they were younger, but Jesus Christ. Like, The Bear will make you never want to work in a kitchen ever. And the crazy part is this isn't even classified as a horror series. Sure, there are some thrilling aspects to it, especially when you look at the trauma that Jeremy Allen White is going through. But I think it's also just the dialogue and the way a lot of these chefs actually speak to each other when they're under the pressure cooker, if you will. Like, that part is what's unsettling about the whole thing. Like, it is stressful, guys. You're just clutching your chair every single time you step foot in that kitchen, and you never know what the hell these characters are going to be yelling at each other. You never know whether or not they're going to be calling each other worthless or whether or not they even deserve the opportunity to be working at this restaurant. Like, just crazy, crazy trauma, man. Now, speaking of trauma, let's talk about Jeremy Allen White. I adored him in the Iron Claw when he played Carrie Von Erich, and this is, honestly, this might have been the role that got him cast as Carrie. With how frenetic and paranoid and anxious he is all the time, you can't help but feel like you're walking on eggshells when you're around this guy. But at the same time, this character has so much fucking heart to him. I think this is the best case of never gossip about anybody and how bad your day might be because of this person, because you never know what kind of day that they're having. And yeah, it's shitty that they're taking it out on you, but it's like, put yourself in their shoes. This guy is dealing with a huge sudden loss of his older brother, who left the earth way too young. He's played here by Jon Bernthal, by the way, and he is fantastic as he usually is. But the emotional range that Jeremy Allen White gets to explore in this series is just, mwah, chef's kiss. If I could use that term for The Bear for a minute. Now, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, I heard he was cast as Ben Grimm in the MCU, and I honestly, I didn't even really know who he was, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel shitty for saying that, but I legit did not know who he was. Like, he was the outlier of the four. Obviously, Pedro Pascal, I know him. Vanessa Kirby, I've seen her in so many things, and I've loved her in every single thing she's done. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Eddie Munson as the Human Torch. How did I never think of that? But then you have this relative unknown here, and I see him in The Bear, and I see his performance, and I think the Fantastic Four is perfect. I think the MCU is going to be just fine. I think Kevin Feige made the right choice here. Ebon Moss-Bachrach is a marvelous actor. He plays the cousin of Jeremy Allen White's character, Carmy, and Richie here is kind of a bum. He's a bum who's never really amounted to anything in his life, but yet there's still a tidbit of jealousy because Carmy was the one who inherited the restaurant and not him. Like, just how he sells the fractured nature of this relationship within the family is just masterful. Ebon Moss-Bachrach is a freaking revelation, and I can't wait to follow the rest of his career. Like, all these actors that they got here are marvelous. Edebiri tried, I'm gonna butcher that name for sure, but she's a new, young, up-and-coming chef who's hired into this restaurant by Carmi. And she's got some management and financial expertise, and she's got her own ideas of how to run things, and her and Carmi basically clash over that, which leads to phenomenal tension. Like, I cannot put over how just suspenseful this show feels. Even though a lot of this dialogue is technically very funny, again, you just can't help but feel like you're on thin ice when you're inside the kitchen and on the floor with these guys. And I loved it. I am so invested in the bear, and I can't wait to start season 2 right now. My only real nitpick with this show, and the only thing that's really holding it back from being absolutely perfect for me, these episodes are shockingly short. Which, don't get it twisted, the fast pace of this show and the editing certainly helps it along, and it certainly feels like it's a very brisk and easy show to sit through. But with how many characters that they have, too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will.
Too many cooks, too many cooks.
Like, I wanted a bit more time to develop some of these characters. Like, there's a guy who basically specializes in making dessert in the kitchen. And, like, he takes this art of baking cakes so seriously. He doesn't get nearly as much development as some of these other characters, and, like, I want to know more about him. I'm sure we'll get more in season 2, but with that being said, I think this is a very solid start to this series for me. I know I'm a couple years late on this, and I know this has been critically acclaimed. I know it took me a while to get to this. Better late than never, and I'm so happy I did. I'm gonna give The Bear Season 1 an A. If you haven't seen this show, I'm hooked. I highly recommend it. It's got my stamp of approval. It'll also really make you want to eat a lot of food. Like this in the menu, with how they shoot food in both of those pieces of entertainment, like, it just makes you hungry, man. But let me know what you thought of The Bear down in the comments if you guys have seen this series. Do not spoil season 2 for me down in the comments. Like, I swear to God. But if you like discussing all things movies, television, and all things in the world of entertainment, if you want to join a great community of geeks, film lovers, and entertainment lovers alike, then boy howdy, you come to the right place. So do consider subscribing, tap on that thumbs up as well if you want to see more, and stay tuned as we discuss all the new releases in 2024 and beyond. Y'all are the best, guys. Thank you again for tuning in and checking out the video. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.